not drinking, but he is our special guest. Well, he's sipping on some water, so I guess that'll work. But we are trying out the Weeknd Summer Anthem Can't Feel My Face drink. This is inspired by them winning a Grammy for that song. And because we have a 2-time nominated Grammy producer here, that's why Google is like fucking amazing. So I'm just sitting in bed one day and I'm just like, what type of drink should we drink? I was like, I wonder if anybody came up with a drink that's incorporated with the Grammys. And I Googled it, and it was like all these different websites with different drinks, and this is the one that I chose. Inspired by
The Weeknd.
The Weeknd. And I picked The Weeknd. Why did I pick The Weeknd?
Because I love The Weeknd.
She loves The Weeknd. And I love her.
He's one of my favorite live performances. I wouldn't say he's my favorite that I've seen live.
You seen him live?
Yes.
This is Sip and Discuss. I am Michelle Mosley.
And I'm Talita Hunter.
And today we have with us a special guest. We have with us Saint Luke. What's up? What's up? We are great. We are so happy that you are here. Thank you for joining us. I just want to jump into it, like go right into it. Right. How does it feel to have a key to the city?
You know, it just feels.
I mean, take us to that day though. Like when you got it, when they told you, like, was you expecting it? Did it boost your self-esteem? Did it like make you nervous?
Nah, it's just I had an art collective at Showboat. We was raising money for the Lane City Arts Foundation. So me and Billy Joe, she's another dope artist, visual artist, and we were working together. And my dad invited the mayor to come out, and the mayor came out and he was moved to tears. And,
Oh wow!
yeah, he called me the next day and was like,
Dope. I'm glad that he gave me somebody that actually
It's from the city.
She always backs me up when I say something. But this is Saint Luke. He is a 2-time nominated Grammy producer, right? Am I saying it right? And a designer. And we decided to have him on because on this episode, we wanted to talk about sticking to your script.
Yes.
If anyone knows me, they know that Nipsey Hussle has inspired me. Before his death, I was into his album because I'm just like, I feel like I'm an old soul, and I feel like his music reminded me of old hip hop. Like, you know what I mean? Like the real shit. So no disrespect. But and he always said in his interviews, he said, stick to your script. Like when he gives people advice, that's what he's saying. Map out a plan and stick to your script. So I thought, why not have someone who is from our area that's actually really successful, doing his thing, and pick his brain about sticking to your script, following your dreams, and all that stuff. So we thank you for being with us again. So we're going to jump right into it. We are drinking, sipping, cheers. He has water. We have our inspired by Grammys, The Weeknd. So I Googled, I wanted to find out, like, was there any alcohol drinks, cocktails that were inspired by the Grammys? I just was like, let me Google it. I didn't think it was possible, but of course, this is America.
Google.
We love to drink here in America.
Yes.
So we will find a reason to make a drink for any and everything. So I found a drink from The Weeknd. This has vodka in it. It has a little bit of Fireball in it. And we just gonna sip away. So we know that you come from a musical family. Did coming from a musical family make it easier to break into this industry?
Yes, I would say, growing up, watching my uncle play, my uncle Marcus plays the organ as well. So watching him do that and watching my dad sing and my aunt sing, I was definitely, it was easier for me to transition, but it was already in me. Yeah.
Do you sing?
No, I don't sing.
Can you sing?
No, I can't sing.
I think you're lying. Like, you see the way he like.
Right.
I think you're lying. I think you're telling stories. So, a little fact, a little known, or maybe not known, I don't know. I'm a little tipsy. I ain't eat today, y'all. My mom actually went to church with his parents. So my mom, that's one of the things, when I told my mom I was interviewing him, she was like, ask him, can he sing like his mom and his dad and his family? And I was like, he probably can. Now he's saying no.
Nah, I can't.
Are you serious?
If I could, I would.
So when you get in the studio, no one, because I remember watching a thing with Monica when she was in the studio, and the producer, like, it was a writer and the producers were in there, and they had to sing it to her. They couldn't sing, but they had to sing it to her how she should sing it. Do you ever have to, like?
I can do that.
You can do that.
Yeah.
So you do that.
Yes.
Okay, so if I'm like in the studio with you.
All right, I did have a singing career.
You see how I work? I could be what you call
A
that?
journalist.
I had a singing
Get the
career when I
point.
was a kid, for real. It was short-lived, you know what I mean? But
You see how the truth finally came out?
Yeah.
So what was the name of the singing group?
Nah, I wasn't in a group. It was my career, like me, solo. Yeah.
So
It
he
was-
can say.
No. It was horrible. I was like, it was like 5 to 7. Got done with it. But like, it's crazy because like, yo, my grandfather, I don't know how I got up there. I'm still trying to. That's very fuzzy. I don't know how, but I know I had a singing career. So I would sing "I Believe I Can Fly" by R. Kelly, and the song I did a terrible job, right? But every time I would sing the song, I would get like better gigs. I was like, how was I moving up? Like I didn't understand politics.
Because from what I always heard, winning has nothing to do with talent.
Your attitude.
It's your work ethic. Like work ethic, they say will outbeat talent any day.
Nah,
Like,
I was breaking barriers. Like you don't understand. I sung at Harris. That was a lot for a kid. I didn't even know.
yeah,
that
but you
was
was on your grind with it.
I'm gonna break it even further. I was with the Fruit of Islam.
What's the fruit of Islam?
The Muslims. I'm a Christian. How was I with the Muslims? Not only that, Elijah Muhammad, y'all ever heard of Elijah? His son took over, like Wahidi Muhammad. I sung for him.
So you have to be good.
No, I was horrible. I don't know how I got these gigs, but this is fact. It was at MLK. It was packed out, and I sung.
Is there any like records
I
of
hope
this? Any
not.
You
video?
can probably go on YouTube and
What's
probably
the
find something.
what's the newspaper they be having? The Muslims.
I don't know. That's a
Like,
shame.
the
Final call.
Final
Final
call.
call.
I'm probably in the final call somewhere.
Wow.
It's fact though. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Any Fruit of Islam out in Lansing,
Maybe
they
because you were close to your purpose. So God sometimes shows us like you'll be walking in one direction and you'll be so close to your purpose and you'll be trying to figure out like why. But you was kicking ass. So
Nah, but it was just crazy. Like that was just a horrible career though. Like
what did
that's
your
why
parents think though?
they was with it.
They was
They
encouraging
like,
it. Obviously, they were encouraging it because he was still doing. He was doing gigs.
like y'all was.
They was in. Somebody got to drive a 7-year-old.
I
He
was
did it himself.
yeah, like, they was with
Somebody
it.
got to set it up.
Do they know that you was bad?
I would think. But like, yo, my gigs kept getting better and better. And I was just like, how? Like, I never understood that. But that was on this show. I don't know why you got that out of me, but something just said, like, be honest. I didn't want to lie.
Just tell the truth.
I didn't want nobody to bring that up.
Yeah, because somebody gonna be on YouTube and be
On the
underneath the
comments,
comments
like,
like he's lying.
I've seen him sing before.
I've seen him before.
He was singing.
He was singing.
Yeah.
Here is a link to the YouTube
No,
video.
Oh my God! If it's a link, oh God! Oh God! We have
Click the link underneath.
Link will be in the description, guys. Okay, if you want to see St. Luke, 7 years old, singing for Elijah Muhammad, we got it.
We got it.
We got the exclusive.
Yeah.
So talking about family.
How does your family and your church feel about the type of music that you produce?
I feel like it's all good music, you know? Like, I don't feel like I did anything wrong.
I'm saying as far as going into the circular realm versus going into the gospel realm. Or do you do gospel?
Yeah, you do gospel.
Yeah, so.
You
Yeah,
sound-
I do. No, I do.
Okay, so here we go. We're going to have to pull it out over again.
Right.
We're going to have to pull it out over again. No, because growing up, I grew up in a Pentecostal church. And
I grew up in church as well.
Yeah.
And I went to evangelical all my life. My mom went to evangelical all her life. My grandfather helped build the church or whatever. You know, like there's a long history of our family there. So when there was always a thing like no secular music. Is your church Pentecostal?
Oh, yeah.
So it was like, no, this is back in, I was born in the 80s, this is in the 90s, like, growing up, like, no secular music, like, I had to, my first time listening to, like, outside of gospel music, like, I literally had to sneak, and, like, how my sisters have it is completely different.
I don't know what she's talking about. We weren't allowed to listen to secular music.
Whatever, they got it, so my sister's off to the side, but, like, they have it so much different. So when Rodney Jerkins got his deal and everything, like started writing music, it was like, my mom, like everybody was just like, we're not supposed to be listening to that music. You told us all our lives we weren't supposed to be listening to secular music. So it's just like, when did it become acceptable? Luke, like, I'm staying out of this.
No, like, things just.
So you never had that conversation with your
Of
parents?
course, like, no, like, I come out the same type of church where it was like that. You know what I mean?
You were just like,
I can't, I ain't saying it like that, but yo, I guess it was,
You gotta follow your heart.
yeah, but you know, like, it's still a limit to things I want.
Right.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like,
Like, of course, your content is not, you know, like sexually based and F this and B this but I mean.
So you not writing nothing for Cardi B? You ain't a writer for Cardi B on the damn level.
nah, I'll make some music for Cardi B. Like, what you saying? Like,
No, I'm saying right. Like you would you like? You think you could write a Cardi B track?
I could.
You could.
Yeah.
How would you feel? I feel like I'm making it uncomfortable. How would you feel like?
With her sexually based lyrics over top of something that you produce.
I mean, I could, but I wouldn't. That's
Okay.
not something I would
Okay.
do. You know what I mean? But like, I'm more of a producer, so like, I'll probably just be working on, you know, overseeing everything. But I probably wouldn't be. I don't know. Like, I don't know.
You know,
I mean, how do you necessarily feel about being attached to certain type of music?
Yeah, I don't like being attached to something. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's
Yeah.
a limit to.
So there is like a standard. There is like a boundary
Yeah.
that you will not cross. Like you have it. Like you don't have to openly say it here or like give a description. But you know within yourself there are certain things. And I mean, I think we all should have those limits. But I think sometimes when we get in situations like when I used to be on the radio with Ray, shout out to Ray. One of our biggest like arguments was
Right.
like people would say about
Yeah.
yeah, like people would say like Nicki Minaj like sold out or different artists sold out and I would always my argument would always be you've been chasing your dream for let's say 10 years and finally you are in that room getting that meeting that you want. And your whole family's dependent on you at this point. Motherfuckers that have been riding for you, helping you invest in your dream, they're all
waiting for
you to blow. So somebody's like 2 million, all you gotta do is be more sexual. Like everybody, and in that studio, people be like, no, I wouldn't do it. I mean, you can say that, but how far is it when your rent is past due? Your mama can't pay her mortgage.
That's when faith comes in.
Woo,
And you have
speak
to
about
say,
it.
you have to say, like we always talk about it, like regardless of whether you know where the money's gonna come from, the money's gonna come.
Because money always shows up.
Money always shows up. Money is energy. So the money gonna come.
Definitely.
But once you compromise your morals and you go past your boundaries, the next step is how much farther can we push you past your boundaries? You already broke for this one thing. What else will you break for?
Yeah.
So that's why it's so important to keep those boundaries and be clear about those boundaries. And definitely not be trying to straddle the fence. I hate fence stragglers. Like,
what's a fence straddler? They got one foot in the world and
Yes.
one foot out. My mom always talk about that.
Like I don't work on Saturdays.
and that's probably a hard no for you.
My mom
Like,
don't work
I
on
don't work on Saturdays.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Like,
My
don't
mom don't
ask
work
me,
on
I'm not,
Saturdays.
don't call me about work, like, it's not going to get done.
I just say the whole weekend because I'm really not, Sunday I be in church.
Right.
But Saturday, when I say work, I go to the studio, but I'm not working. It's not like a thing. It's not
Right.
like I'm chilling or it's a Sabbath, point blank.
Right.
And I keep that.
That's dope.
And if somebody says they can't work with me,
Then they're not with people to work with you.
I doubt that though. Who's gonna really trip over it? But if you start making yourself
Available for y'all.
Yeah.
That's what I be saying to people all the time.
Yeah, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. You done show them what you can do.
Right.
Everything. You know what I mean?
And people don't realize how
And you don't work your
inaccessible
value
you are
with it too,
until
right?
they can't get access to you.
Yeah, you could, because some people in the industry are devout to whatever religion they are.
Right.
Like some people are very devout. You know what I mean? So, I see that more being a pressure probably for, I hate to say it, Christians, because people try to put that more of a thing.
Demonized.
But Muslims, I know Muslims that are devout in the industry, and you're not getting into what they got going on. You know what I mean? I respect them. I know European Jews or Jews that they're not going to get into what they got going on, their feast, and that's showing that they have kind of like a grip on life. You know what I mean? So if you gotta really sell yourself, you know what I mean? At that point, like you said, it's fake. It's like, well, what are we really talking right now? We're talking.
They making me feel bad. Cause I'm selling. It's like, I'm selling my soul to the highest bidder. It's like, I'm fucking with y'all. I'm fucking with y'all. But y'all make a really good point. Like, I'm glad nobody has ever, no one has ever, broke it down the way y'all just did. You know what I mean? And it's really dope that you are sticking to your standards and your morals. Like, my mom is the same way. My mom has a business for 10 years, and that's her. She keeps the Sabbath. That's her. She doesn't work on Saturday. She's turned down, some good situations, like good money, because she does not work on the Sabbath. She keeps the Sabbath. So I feel like that's really dope. I'm trying to think, what do I have that? I'm not a religious person. I don't have any. I guess I would have to be in a situation and then I'll figure out what my
Hard no would be.
my hard no. What is my hard no? In your opinion, what is the key to sticking to your dreams and putting it into motion? Like, what did you do? How did you say, this is what I want to do, this is what I'm going to do, and you made it happen?
I'm always around a lot of creatives too. So I always keep myself around people that's probably doing better than me. You know what I mean? That's on the same wavelength as me. You know what I mean? Because it's easy to get caught into the company you keep. You know what I mean? So but it's always listen to yourself too. You know what I mean? You can't really listen to what nobody else has to say. You know what I take in, criticism, take in, I guess, ideas. But if it's your vision, like somebody can't tell you what you see,
Right.
and then somebody can take you off your vision. You know what I mean? And it may not be a bad idea what they're presenting, but it's gonna be it's not what you had in mind. You see what I'm saying? So kind of being persistent on it. Just like never giving up. Like you have dark times, you have good times. You know what I mean? You be up, you be down. So you gotta just stay with the course. You know what I mean? Like that's part of a creator, I'm sure.
Yes.
So
if you sit at a table full of creatives, that's it.
Yeah.
I need to start doing that.
The light and the dark. I always talk about the light and the dark. Like, for me as a creative, as a writer, for me, the dark is where I write the best, from the dark. And I hate to say that, but seriously, like the dark fuels my creativity. When I'm in the light, then I'm like, I'm fucking happy. I don't like,
I have
unicorns and rainbows and
I haven't really wrote a poem since Atlanta, and I've been back from Atlanta for 2 years, and I haven't been in
the dark.
I haven't been in the dark.
See?
I haven't been
the balance. You need the balance.
Like my last spoken word album was so kind of dark and kind of uplifting, trying to be, but only reason I got that was because I went through hell for 3 years straight. I was in the dark. So yeah, I definitely
can relate to the light and the dark. You definitely the ups and the downs.
You need pain to grow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't want to have to feel pain in order to feel love. I don't want my pain to be equated.
Oh, now see, you going on time.
I'm just saying.
She about to get into the why black women gotta be in pain before they fall in love.
Why you gotta be in pain in order to feel joy? Like, why?
I don't think it's that.
I don't want that to be equated.
Yeah. Nah, but that's not joy all the time. Like, to birth something is painful. Like, birthing. They say birthing a child is very painful. It's near death. So birthing that, that's beautiful.
Right.
And we was just recently talking about that, going. What I tell you, what you're going through, just go with it. Surrender to it. Surrender to the growth. Yeah. Feel it, because in the end, it's gonna be something beautiful. Yeah. It's gonna be something just like a child. You pushing that baby out and it hurts, but then at the end.
But still, I don't want it to be it's just pain. Because when you get on that wave, it's a wave. You know what I mean?
A wave.
You could be in a happy place. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's music or creativity comes from a emotion.
Yes.
Whether it's love, hate, sadness, you know what I mean? Anger, all those, it derives from somewhere. So, you could get it from being down, you know what I mean? But you could get it from
being up.
You know what I mean? Your life could be amazing, spiritually, you know what I mean? Just feeling yourself, you know what I mean? And just be I can write. Every day feels like you're in Colombia on the beach or something. It can feel like that if you're up, you know what I mean? If you're down, you know what I mean? You're down, you know what I mean? So you're gonna dig from that.
Right. That's the only way to go up.
If you're angry, you're gonna write some angry stuff.
Right.
I don't know why I haven't been because I have had some. I am going through a serious growth right now, though. I'm at the point where I'm just everything that is happening to me, how people are treating me and things that happen to me, have nothing to do with them. No. It's my journey and it's my. So I'm.
It's all how you react to it.
Yeah, and I'm still not writing. I will. when I had that baby.
This baby that she's speaking into existence.
this child.
Before the 40th.
What advice would you give to upcoming producers?
Stay focused, stay at it, learn your craft.
How about producers in this area? Because, like, can I say this and y'all don't be mad at me? But I feel like, now, well, before I say this, let me ask you this. Do you, because maybe I'm wrong, do you have people from this area reach out to you and ask you questions about the industry and try to get advice from you?
Yeah.
Okay, so then I won't
So
say
you
that.
have a good relationship with the producers from this area. You would say.
Well, I wouldn't say like the producers. I'm just thinking like people who might want to do what you do.
My line's always open. I talk to a lot of people about music.
Okay, because I feel like sometimes we, especially as Black people, this is a podcast for Black and brown folks. We talk about issues that matter
To you and me.
Sometimes Black and brown, but I feel like sometimes in our community we'll see a success story like right at home.
Right.
And our pride will get in the way of being like, we're not humble enough to be like, all right, I see St. Luke is on, he's doing things. Let me ask him how. But some people in the back of their head like, oh, I don't want him to think I'm sweating him. I don't want him to think da 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 da. So that's another reason why I really wanted to talk to you, because I felt like there's probably some young people or even people our age, well, you're young, who might want to ask you questions but are scared. You know what I mean? Intimidated by your success, or just, like, might think, like, you might give them a Nipsey Hussle line, like, I don't want to hear you fucking CD. Like, and that rejection is hard to deal with. Like, everybody can't handle that rejection thing. And in the type of industry that you're in, you gotta have that type of skin. So that's the only thing I want to say.
I'm really big on being around a lot of young musicians, a lot of younger producers. Like, I had my fair share of, just in the church circuit, having a lot of younger musicians being around that definitely got next. You know what I mean? Like, I could name Lil Mikey, Rob, Ramir, that's in the church. You got Des G. I could say like Betty Raw about to come out, Love, you know what I mean? Like I love them.
That's what's
up.
up.
So they're around, they're around, you know what I mean? Not saying like they my young boys or anything like that.
Yeah.
Just, like I rock with them, you know what I mean? Because they're fresh ears, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're a new sound.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I listen to them. You know what I mean? That's how I grow. I can't grow without them. You know what I mean? Like, so, like, I watched a lot of them. I watched a lot of the musicians, I should say, come up. You know what I mean?
A lot of musicians come up in the church.
Yeah.
A lot of them get their
yeah.
start
Yeah.
in the church.
Yeah.
Like almost everybody.
That's
Right.
Yeah.
That's like our college, high school,
Right.
college.
I got my start in the church. I will tell y'all this, for real, because I was in pageants and they always used to try to get me to sing. I was always singing, but I can't sing either. Like, I cannot sing. But my mom wanted me to be a singer. Like, she really wanted me to be a singer. So one year for the pageant, in the church pageant, I decided to write a whole script by myself. I was a radio host and I played all the characters. So I got my start in the church too. Like,
Well, I can say the same thing. I sung on the choir for
oh yeah, I sung on the choir too.
from the time I was 10 to the time I was 17. And not that I wouldn't say that I can't sing, but I can hold a note. I can hold a note. Yes, I can. How does it feel to be walking in your purpose?
That was good.
One of your purposes.
One of your purposes, because we have many purposes in life.
Yeah.
One.
Your energy, sorry to cut you off, but your energy is telling you you got
Got a whole lot more than one.
you got a lot more purposes coming.
Wow. That's cool. Yeah, I've been walking in this all my life. You know what I mean? Like, this is what I always wanted to do. Like, I didn't know what it would be. You know what I mean? And I was playing music at a young age. You know what I mean? I knew I wanted to be a musician. You know what I mean? I thought I'd be a drummer. But then I used to watch my uncle play. And I'm like, yo, I want to be an organist.
Now, do you think that your parents cultivated your purpose?
Oh,
You
yeah.
think- Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that makes a difference
Yeah.
in whether, you know, as
Yeah.
far as you going?
My mom, like, she was like speaking over me like when I was in her belly. And she was like, yeah, I was gonna be a musician. That's the real. And then when I came out, I was playing on the pots and pans.
Right.
My mom noticed it. You know, my dad was out working. My mom was like, hey,
Playing some drums.
he likes to play the pot and pans. Then I started playing the drums. You know what I mean? So that was my mom. My dad saw me playing the keyboard. He saw me, and he would be like trying to, you know, like push it on me, and I wasn't with it. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I was just playing the drums. I was starting to pick it up just a little bit. So my dad was like, you gotta keep playing. You gotta keep playing. And I'd be like, I'm cool. And then one time he was like, when you gonna he was like, when are you gonna, this is a crazy story. He was like, when you gonna start playing for me? Because my dad's a minister at the time. So I would go.
Playing for the church.
No, I would go. He was a traveling minister.
Okay.
He would be out of town like 36 weeks out of the
Oh,
year.
Lord.
Yo,
How we
like the weekends and stuff like that, just moving. But I would be able to go with him a lot too. That's how I met a lot of connections. I know a lot of musicians like across like the country. So I'll be going to play with him, and he would be like, "We want to play the organ." So I guess somebody came up to him and was like, I guess he was telling him, "I want my son to play." He was like, "It's gonna come. It's gonna come." So my dad had me watch this documentary on like Michael Jordan. So he was like, you know, it was before this like documentary they got out right now. Like, you know, remember the Last Dance they just had out? Nah, this was like the original Last Dance. I watched a lot of that. So it was kind of like Michael Jordan, he took the shot game 6 and the winning shot. And he was like, yo, like, what was you thinking in your head? Like, winners want the ball. My dad was like, you hear that? Winners want the ball. So it stuck in my head. So I got to, the next day my dad had to go preach at some church. Yo, so this church was like 700 people at this church.
A mega church.
It was big. It was in Cyclical CCU. And my dad was playing, my dad had to preach. So I'm looking at the organ, I'm looking at the drums, and I'm like, yo, this is in my head, you know what I mean? But the organist was weak, y'all. He wasn't good. So I said, I can't be
And when you go to a black church and you got a weak organist,
It's
right,
horrible.
praise and worship is
Yeah,
trash.
it was weak.
Like,
He was weak, but I couldn't believe he was getting this off with all these people here. I said, yo, this is crazy. Like, I was a young boy to even peep that. So, it was crazy. We go to, my dad, they call my dad up to preach. And I'm like, all right, cool. They, you know, I'm getting up to go to the drums. I said, nah, I'm gonna play the organ. So I go to organ. My dad's looking at me because he's fighting in his head. Like, I thought he said, like, a small church.
Right.
Yo, what happened? And I got on. Yo, and it went up. We got lit. You feel me? Like, yo.
How old were you?
I was 12. We got lit. Yo, it was so crazy. So, like, afterwards, like, my dad, he's, like, really preaching. But he's crying because they don't know what's going
right.
on. But
they don't know this is the
they
first
don't know
time
the real.
that comes on here.
So
And
he's
he's
trying-
asking you.
He's trying to tell the church, he was like, yo, like, this is the first time my son playing it, like, you're lying because the church went up.
Right.
And afterwards, he was like, yo, like, I'm going to get you whatever you want to eat. Like, he was, I'll get you whatever you want to eat. He's like, why did you want to do it? And I was like, winners want the ball.
Right.
I believe that, yo, I say that all that to say, like, my dad and him was like, on it. You know what I mean?
They cultivated.
Yeah.
And I speak about that all the
like,
time now.
yeah, because we always talk about the kids.
about people cultivating what their children like from an early age instead of
You
trying
have
to
to
force
pay
them
attention.
into being something that you think that they should be. I think that it's important that parents actually pay attention to their kids because we make the mistake sometimes of wanting. A lot of parents like to live vicariously through their children.
Yeah.
So you'll try to push your child into a direction because that's the direction that you wanted to go into. And they don't have no intention of doing that. And they're going to be miserable doing that, trying to make you happy. When you should just let them be who they're going to be and cultivate what they like.
Another thing I love about that story, because it also reminds me of my mother. And my mother is a Pentecostal, she grew up in a Pentecostal church. The praying over you,
speaking over your children.
Like my mom said, she did that with all. Like she said she still worries about us. She wakes up at 4 o'clock in the morning every morning to make prayer for us, and she names all her children by name. She has 5 children. But she says that like when certain things happen in our lives, like when me and my brothers, we get into certain situations, she says I don't all the way worry because I know my conversation that I had when you were in my womb. I know that I prayed over your life. I know that I dedicated your life to God. I know that God has the last say. So that hit a chord with me because that's beautiful that she, that she prayed over you and that you had your dad there,
And to piggyback off my dad, I just feel good talking about him right now. Yo, he took me to all the concerts, and my dad wouldn't even go in the concerts. He would just sit outside
and wait for you.
Yes, this is the type of dad I had.
And that's called cultivating. Letting your children be who they are without being judgmental.
That's dope.
He literally, the people I know, it's because my dad gave me the opportunity, and I wasn't asking to go to, Club Shampoo or anything like that. I'll be like, y'all want to go to this concert? And, it just wasn't where my mind was at. I would be like, y'all want to go around these musicians? I want to be around these musicians.
I want to be I want to take up the same space that
you
share.
But that's also, I feel like that's also learning, which a lot of people need to learn, that your children don't belong to you.
No, they don't.
They are here to fulfill a purpose
outside of you.
Outside of you. You were the vessel that God used
to bring them here.
To get them
That's
here.
it.
So now, if God has called upon you to be their parent, now God is calling you to just pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
Just pay attention. They have a purpose, and all you gotta do is watch the signs. Like my nephew lights up when he gets on the keyboard.
Yeah.
So we gotta pay attention to that, because my mom just brought him a little baby grand, a little kid thing. But as soon as you put him in front of the keyboard, it's he gets excited.
He's in his own.
Yes, and I'm how do you just turned 1. How do you know to go like this and bob your head? So it's just a beautiful. Yeah, he is great. He got that Shelly bloodline. But so is this me or you? What's one thing you know now that you wish you knew earlier in your careers as a designer and producer?
Well, I'm still new as a designer, right? So I'm still ever evolving with that. I'm always finding things out. I'll say as producer, musician, being a little more on business in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? If I just took my business mind right now and gave that to myself at 20 years old, you know what I mean? Or 19, a lot of things could be different. I guess utilizing everything around me. You know what I mean? I didn't do that as well. You know what I mean? And not in a opportunist way, you know what I mean, but more in you just don't think, you know what I mean, you have a contact list in your phone for a reason, and if you just got contacts just filling up space, why are you not even calling these people, or why are you not even, doing X, Y, and Z, just, kind of being a little, mindful, being an artist, being
more mindful of the people that you keep around you and why.
Yeah, and not even just that, just being an artist. Being an artist, you can get very, music poetry, you know, spoken word, singing, that's all artistry. So we live in our feelings. You know what I mean? Like one day we wake up and be like, yo, I don't want to do this. You know what I mean? Like, yo, I don't feel this, or I don't. We use words like feeling, or I'm not feeling that.
I'm exactly how I feel.
Yeah, which can be a lot if you're not like, if you're totally drowned in that world, which it's easy to get into. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like that's
especially creative souls.
Yes.
Yeah.
We dive in it
deep.
Like whoop, and then we in there. We in there burning, dancing around it. Yeah.
I know some artists that don't even know what Cash App is. They don't know what. It sounds crazy. They don't know what that is. They've been in it so long, so there's like, you know what I mean? Like, think about it. Why would that person be using Cash App? They've been around since the 90s. You get what I'm saying? And they're very, very, very wealthy. They don't need Cash App. You see what I'm saying? Cash App's not a thing. You know what I mean? I know some artists that they still have an iPhone 5. You see what I'm saying? Like, they don't really, they still take beats by CDs. Yo, can you make me a CD? Yo, can you go?
Like, I don't even have these.
Yo, can y'all go make a CD? You know what I mean?
But that's kind of dope, though.
It is. Like, you know what I mean?
But that, like, I don't know, that's dope to me.
It's kind of nostalgic at the same time.
It's kind of being detached, too, which I try to be. Like, I try my hardest. I'm getting better and better. I try my hardest. I try to cut my phone off at a certain time. I try to, like, I got to the point now where I'm deleting apps for like a couple of hours out of the day. Like, Instagram gotta go for like 5 hours sometimes. Like, gone.
I'm currently on a social media break. I'm on day 9.
But it gives you more time.
Right.
It gives you more time. I never realized how much more time it gave until I did that. Like, it gives you so much more time. Because I would literally get caught up on Instagram in my bathroom.
But that's me. I call it falling into the hole. Like, I will start watching one video, which will lead
on the rabbit hole.
Fall down the rabbit hole, and then I'll be 2 hours later, I done learned everything you could about
every religion, every belief system that they have, the New World Order, everything.
Right. And I was like, you know what? I'm taking up a lot of time and because I'm very social on social media. So I'm interacting with people all the time. If you message me, I'm gonna message you back. So anyway, and that really the ding of getting the messages all the time keeps you looking on your phone, and which keeps you once you look one time.
I turned off all my notifications. That's another hack that I use. I turned off all my notifications, so like I don't get no notifications. Like I have to except for I turn the text messages like on and off, but like I have to literally go and see.
Go on the app and look.
And see if I have notifications, because that is the thing. And because I read something that said that they're trying to keep us like addicted to the apps. Like, there are the lighting, everything is targeted to keeping us
on the phone.
So I think that's dope what you said, like that there are artists out there that are just like that's dope as hell.
That might be too out of touch though. For some
people.
Sometimes
it might be too much. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying the CD or the Cash App or anything like that, but being so not aloof to it, or you're in your feelings, or you know, like people have an artistry of, you know, some artists don't even like bragging on their stuff. It's weird. People are weird. I'm not even gonna say weird. People are different. Different. Like, yo, you know, you got the ones that are not gonna be on that type time. You got the ones that are very outgoing. Like, yo, like showy. You see what I'm saying? And you got the ones that aren't really confident. You know what I mean? So you take in a lot of those people, like, you know, they're not quick.
You've seen a lot.
Yeah, I see.
You've seen a lot. Is it hard for you to come back here and interact with us regular folks?
Wow, that's crazy.
when you
You
fit in
know.
I
the
thought this
world.
was going somewhere like for real. I was about to say, yeah, like what you mean? Like
That's what did you think I was gonna ask? I mean, I'm like for real. Like, is it?
no, it's
Would you tell us if it was? Would you tell us if it was?
I think he would.
You think he would? You
I
think
think
he's
he
that
would.
type of person?
I think he would say, you
I
know what,
wouldn't say.
these peasants?
Nah.
I don't like the peasants.
No.
But I mean, you still, it's crazy because when I reached out to him, first of all, I thought he was gonna say no. But I guess you kind of can call it that way. What's it called?
Y'all just doing this for TV.
No, I'm not.
I'm not saying no. Like
No, I
don't listen.
God is my go to you're established. You have a life, like you're actually doing shit. So I'm just like, what did I ask you? I asked you, did you even live here?
I think something like that.
Yes.
I don't remember
And then like when I'm like setting up the whole thing, I'm like, will you be in this area during this time? Because I was just like, yo, like he's successful. Like why would he want to hang around ordinary?
South Jersey.
You know,
South
now
Jersey
me,
is an amazing place to live.
It is.
though.
It
Like,
is.
Y'all
to
really
me,
gotta,
it is.
we really gotta relax. You know what I mean? Yeah, like you got LA. I'm not gonna say it's LA. You know what I mean? LA is LA. You feel me? And Miami and New York. But like, if you're talking about like, listen, I get into these debates with people all the time. They say Atlantic City is nothing in South Jersey, but I think I see the good in it.
Yes.
I think South Jersey, particularly Atlantic City in itself, is like its own thing in itself. It's like a whole culture within itself that's separate from everybody else's culture. It's completely different from everywhere else that you go. Like
Yo,
seriously,
I get into
seriously.
like I'm like everybody knows like I do Uber because I don't like to work. So like yeah, so like I do Uber and like I literally have like I catch attitudes when people talk shit about Atlantic City. Like I remember dropping these guys off at a massage parlor in the middle of the night, and they are fucking talking shit about Atlantic City. I'm like, you clown ass motherfuckers. Like, you're going to a massage parlor and you're talking shit about where I live. He said, oh my god, people actually live here? You live here?
Yeah, people have said that to
They
me.
always,
I
and
didn't
people
understand
from
that.
out of town
Yeah.
always say that.
You live
it's
here?
actually houses
People
here.
live here? I said, there's a hospital here.
Yes, that's the same thing that I said. I'm like,
There's a hospital here. My brother was born
like it's a whole
in Atlantic City.
city.
Like,
This is
yeah.
not Vegas.
I'm not one of those people, but I have come into contact with people who are successful from here and have that type of attitude.
I can see that though. I mean, like, yo, I can see both sides of it.
Yeah.
Like, I can see somebody being like, yo, like, now for work purposes, as of right now, no. It's not really like, yo, I can just go down the street and just go see every artist.
Right.
So if you're in that mindset of it, yeah. I wasn't dissing Atlantic City as a place for, you know what I mean? Because it's a good place to live. You see what I'm saying? I'll say the surrounding areas. But nah, the way they're going to build Atlantic City up, it's going to be a really good place. Like, I really believe that.
I moved back here to live in Atlantic City. Like, I live in Atlantic City. I feel like it's so slept on. Like, I literally can walk to the beach. Like, to me, like, I live on an island. Like, I don't care if the water is not crystal blue. Bitch, I live on an island.
Right.
When you say it like that, I live on
Because
an
I
island.
always say I'm from where y'all come vacation at. So
And when
I work where you guys like to come vacation.
But
at,
if you set your life up the right way too, like I feel like when people, because people always say ain't nothing going on in Atlantic City. ain't
Atlantic
nothing
City
coming.
is hot.
You make your area.
Right.
You make opportunities where you live. Like
Right.
you do that. Like because if you ain't about shit,
And
we
shit
cursing
like-
here, I'm sorry. You can go to LA and you still ain't gonna be about shit.
That's right.
Like, at the end of the day, it starts up here with you. So when people want to blame Atlantic City and say, it's not nothing going on, what are you doing, sir? What are you doing, ma'am?
Right.
Because if you're not contributing to the arts, if you're not contributing to things that you want to see happen in your city, then you honestly have no room to talk because you're somebody who's just waiting for someone to save you. And that ain't how the world works. Now we have come to
the conclusion.
We are coming to our
end.
But with our end, we have a little game that we have started, and it is called Last Impression. So with this, you will have to pick 3 questions out of here. When you pick them, you hand them to me or Carlita, whichever one you choose. You better pick me one time though. So you pick whoever you choose, they'll read the question. All you can do is answer. You cannot give an explanation. It's the last and final impression that you make. You cannot explain it, just give your answer.
Michael Jackson or Prince?
Prince.
Whoa. Leave in the comments what y'all think about St. Luke's responses. Dig down deep, go as far as you. Yeah, I think a good one. Okay, let's see. One album you have to listen to for the rest of your life. They're going to destroy all the albums in the whole
You only got one.
And you only got one.
One album that you can listen to.
Dang, I don't know.
How you don't know?
One album that you can listen to on repeat. One album that you've been listening to for years.
And that's it. You can't listen to none of those. I swear, I love.
It's a group called AOE, right? And the album's called Homecoming. And I can't, I've listened to that album straight for 3 years.
Ooh.
And I can listen to it whenever I get into another city and be like, yo, let's take a drive.
I like it.
Yo, I'm gonna put this joint on for like eight songs.
You gotta Google that. Anybody heard of that album? Leave it in the comments.
It's a rare find. It's a rare find, but that's just like my type of vibe. You know what I mean?
He didn't get none of the spicy ones. Alright. He didn't get no spicy ones. If you get the same one, you got it. Ooh, I think that's a spicy one. Yes!
Two.
No, it's because the way I cut it. So if you read the question, alright, do you want me to read it?
No, I want to read it.
I like this one. So you get 3.
Okay, so
That was my last one, right?
Yeah.
your last one.
I would. Yeah.
It's not bad. It's
It's
we're
marry, booty call, or friend zone. So we got Rihanna, we got Beyonce, and we got Nicki Minaj. Who you marrying, who you booty calling, and who you friend zoning.
And no explanation. You just got
No explanation. Just put it out there.
Who you?
Marry, booty
Booty
call,
call
and friend zone.
So one you gotta marry, one you gotta that's just your booty call, and then one is the friend zone. You put her in the friend zone. You ain't even. But I think men be having different friend zones.
People have to talk about
No,
that.
that is on our topic list. Friend zone with men, because men will still.
Rihanna,
What the hell?
Beyonce, and Nicki
The
Minaj.
3 biggest. Rihanna, Nicki Minaj, Beyonce.
And one I got a wife.
Marry,
wife.
booty call, and friend zone. Hit us with the
Dang,
friend zone.
like,
Hit
yo.
us-
Who you friend zoning
Hit us with the
first?
friend zone
I
first.
don't even know who I'm friend zoning.
Hit the
Like,
friend
I
zone.
got 3.
Alright, come on. Who you friend zoning first?
Come on, bro. Like,
It's easy.
it ain't easy.
It is.
What you mean?
You
You
better.
guys
Yeah,
friend
like,
zone.
if I had
You
to-
can't be friends
I
with a
guess.
hot chick.
Yo, huh?
You can't be friends with a hot chick. You can't be friends with a hot chick. That's what you telling
That's
us
all I
right
can
now.
say.
That's what you telling us right now.
Like,
You
High five.
No, don't.
Yes.
It would have been like, yo.
Okay. Who you can no explanations?
No explanation.
Who's
You friend zone. He's friend zoning Beyonce.
He's friend zoning Beyonce. Who's the one he called?
Thank you.
Woo! I can see that.
So
I can see
you're gonna marry Rihanna.
I would definitely.
I love it! I love it here.
Go, Riri! Team Pisces! Team Pisces! Okay. So, that was our final last impression. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We enjoyed having you.
Thank you for coming on. We appreciate you.
Taking out time to sip and discuss with us.
Yeah.
Guys, we are back July 21st.
January.
Oh.
January 21st, 2021. I don't know. Michelle has her dates and activities.
Y'all know.
Thank you guys for riding with
But I
us,
can
and sticking
edit
with us, and we will see you guys.
January the 21st, we return. We have a great lineup of topics coming for you.
Yes.
We have so much in store, and we're so excited that you guys have been with us during this journey.
Yes.
Thank you for being a part of Sip and Discuss.